What is the conjunctive to form of sterben, to die, and when is it used?
The rare conjunctive to form is sterb. When sterb, erbt sie alles. It is preferred in literary German over the word sterben paraphrase.
What is the conjunctive to form of verderben, to spoil/ruin?
The rare conjunctive to form is verderb. When das Essen verderb, müssen wir nu kochen. In everyday speech, word verderben is more common.
The verb empfehlen has two accepted conjunctive to forms. What are they?
Both empfohl and empfehl are accepted. Ich empfehl/empfehl in Diocese Buck. The form empfehl is somewhat more common in modern usage.
What is the conjunctive to of helfen in its rare literary form?
The literary conjunctive to is Hulf. When mir Hulf, were ich denkbar. Modern German typically uses word helfen instead.
What are the rare conjunctive to forms of werfen and backen?
Werf, werfen, and buch, backen. When den Ball werf, / when sie den Kuchen buch. These forms are archaic and found mainly in literary texts.
Explain the plusquamperfect conjunctive with an example.
The plusquamperfect conjunctive expresses an unreal condition in the past using / where plus partizip to. Had ich das gewusst, had ich anders gehandelt. If I had known that, I would have acted differently.
What is let read, free indirect speech, and how does it use the literary prateritem?
Let read blends a character's thoughts with third-person narration using prateritem without quotation marks or das. Ging die Straße entlang. Nein, Word nicht zurückkehren. Es war vorbei. Common in literary German prose.
How does the literary prateritem differ in function from conversational past tense?
In literary narration, the prateritem is the standard storytelling tense, creating narrative distance. Betrat den Raum und Seien. In spoken German, the perfect is preferred, hat den Raum betreten. The prateritem in speech sounds formal or Northern German.
What does the proverb wer den Pfennig nicht ehrt, ist des Talers nicht wert mean?
Meaning, those who don't value small things don't deserve big things. Similar to take care of the pennies and the pounds will take care of themselves. It teaches respect for small amounts of money and resources.
What does Morgenstund hat Gold im Mund mean?
Meaning, the morning hour has gold in its mouth, early risers are rewarded. Equivalent to the early bird catches the worm. It encourages starting work early in the day.
What does the proverb Übung macht den Meister mean?
Meaning, practice makes the master, skill comes through repeated effort. Direct equivalent of practice makes perfect. Used to encourage persistence in learning.
What does aller Anfang ist schwer mean?
Meaning, every beginning is hard. Used to console someone struggling with something new. It acknowledges that the first steps of any endeavor are the most difficult.
What does es ist not kein Meister vom Himmel befallen mean?
Meaning, no master has ever fallen from the sky, nobody is born an expert. Similar to Rome wasn't built in a day. It emphasizes that mastery requires time and effort.
What does the proverb wer zuletzt lacht am besten mean?
Meaning, he who laughs last, laughs best. Used to advise patience and to warn against premature celebration. The final outcome matters more than early success.
What does reden ist silber, schweigen ist gold mean?
Meaning, speech is silver, silence is gold. Advises that knowing when to stay silent is more valuable than speaking. Often used to suggest discretion or restraint.
What does der Apfel fällt nicht weit vom Stamm mean?
Meaning, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, children resemble their parents. Equivalent to the English the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Can be used positively or negatively.
What does the proverb Lügen haben Kasbeine mean?
Meaning, lies have short legs, the truth will eventually come out. Implies that lies cannot run far before being caught. Used to warn against dishonesty.
What does willist istak einweg mean?
Meaning, where there's a will, there's a way. Encourages determination and perseverance. Used to motivate someone facing obstacles.
What is the Bavarian greeting Grüß Gott and where is it used?
Grüß Gott, literally greet God, is the standard greeting in Bavaria and Austria, used at all times of day. It replaces Guten Tag and is not specifically religious in everyday use.
What does service mean and where is it used?
Service is an informal greeting and farewell used in Bavaria, Austria, and parts of southern Germany. From Latin servus, servant / at your service. It can mean both hello and goodbye.
What is the Bavarian term Brezen and how does it differ from standard German?
Brezen is the Bavarian word for bretzel, pretzel. In Bavaria, the soft pretzel is a cultural staple, often eaten with Weisswurst and Sussum Senf. The standard German form is Die Brezel.
What are the Austrian German terms for Kartoffeln, Tomaten, and Schlagsahne?
Erdapfel equals Kartoffeln, potatoes, Paradiser equals Tomaten, tomatoes, Schlagobers equals Schlagsahne, whipped cream. Austrian German has many unique food-related terms, some protected by EU regulation.
What do the Austrian terms Januar and Heuer mean?
Januar is the Austrian word for Januar, January. Heuer means diocese jar, this year. Heuer gehen wir im Januar Skifahren. Both are standard in Austrian German.
What does the Swiss German greeting Grüezi mean and how is it used?
Grüezi, from Gott grüß Sie, is the formal Swiss German greeting, equivalent to Guten Tag. The informal forms are Hoi or Sali. It is distinctly Swiss and immediately identifies the speaker's origin.
What are the Swiss German terms Velo, Natel, and Rubli?
Velo equals Fahrrad, bicycle, from French vélo, Natel equals handy/mobile telephone, mobile phone, a Swiss brand name, Rubli equals carotte/more, carrot. Rubletort is a famous Swiss carrot cake.
What does the Northern German greeting Moin mean?
Moin, or Moin Moin, is a universal greeting in Northern Germany, used at any time of day. Despite sounding like Morgen, it likely derives from Low German moi, good/fine. It is not limited to mornings.
What do the Northern German words Tuddelig and Pleach mean?
Tuddelig means confused, scatterbrained, clumsy, from Low German. Pleach means clever, smart, quick-witted. Both are characteristic Northern German dialect words still widely used in Hamburg and Schleswig-Holstein.
How do greetings differ across German-speaking regions?
North, Moin/Moin Moin. Central, Guten Tag. South, Bavaria Grüß Gott, service. Austria, Grüß Gott, service. Switzerland, Grüezi, Hoi. Using the wrong regional greeting can immediately mark you as an outsider.
What does the idiom Das ist nicht das Gelb vom Ei mean?
Meaning, that's not the yellow of the egg, it's not ideal, not the best solution. Hat die Prüfung bestanden, aber sein Not ist nicht das Gelb vom Ei. A mild way of expressing disappointment.
What does De liegt der Hund begraben mean?
Meaning, that's where the dog is buried, that's the crux of the matter, the real problem. Die Kosten sind zu hoch, de liegt der Hund begraben. Used to identify the core issue in a situation.
What does Gemanden and der Nase herumführen mean?
Meaning, to lead someone around by the nose, to deceive or trick someone over a period of time. Hat uns Monatelung in der Nase herumgeführt. Implies deliberate and sustained deception.
What does aus allen Wolken fallen mean?
Meaning, to fall from all clouds, to be completely shocked or taken aback. Alssie die Nachricht hort, viel sie aus allen Wolken. Equivalent to be thunderstruck.
What does Die Kirche im Dorf lassen mean?
Meaning, to leave the church in the village, to not exaggerate, to keep things in proportion. Lass mal die Kirche im Dorf, so schlimm ist es nicht. A call for moderation and perspective.
What does Auf Wolke 7 schweben mean?
Meaning, to float on cloud 7, to be blissfully happy, especially in love. Sei zusammen sind, schwet auf Wolke 7. Similar to the English on cloud 9.
What does jemandem reinen Wein einschenken mean?
Meaning, to pour someone pure wine, to tell the honest truth even if unpleasant. Schenk mir reinen Wein ein, wie stehen mein Chancen? Implies candor and transparency.
What does Tomaten auf den Augen haben mean?
Meaning, to have tomatoes on one's eyes, to be oblivious, to fail to see something obvious. Hast du Tomaten auf den Augen? Das Schild steht direkt vor dir. Used humorously or in mild reproach.
What does the idiom den Faden verlieren mean?
Meaning, to lose the thread, to lose one's train of thought while speaking. Entschuldigung, ich have den Faden verloren, wo war ich? Common in both spoken and written German.
What does ins kalt Wasser springen mean?
Meaning, to jump into cold water, to tackle something without preparation, to be thrown in at the deep end. Am ersten Arbeitstag must say gleich ins kalt Wasser springen. Often used for new job or challenge situations.
Express he went away in 3 German registers, Umgangssprache, Standardsprache, and Literary German.
Umgangssprache, ist abgehauen. Standardsprache, hat sich entfernt. / ist weggegangen. Literarisch, entschwand. Register choice signals social context, audience, and tone.
Express a place to live in 3 German registers.
Umgangssprache, die Bude, colloquial, sometimes pejorative. Standardsprache, die Wohnung, neutral. Gehoben/literarisch, das Domizil, formal, elevated. Bude implies a small or messy place, domizil sounds elegant.
Express to eat in 3 German registers.
Umgangssprache, futtern/mampfen, informal, chowing down. Standardsprache, essen, neutral. Gehoben, speisen/dinieren, formal, dining. Werhaben fürstlich gespießt suggests an elegant meal.
Express to die in 3 German registers.
Umgangssprache, abkratzen/den lawful abgeben, vulgar/colloquial. Standardsprache, sterben, neutral. Gehoben/literarisch, verscheiden/entschlafen, euphemistic/formal. Obituaries use verscheiden or von uns gegangen.
Express money in 3 German registers.
Umgangssprache, Kohl/Niet/Maus slang. Standardsprache, das Geld, neutral. Amtsdeutsch, die finanziellen Mittel/die Geldmittel, bureaucratic. Hast du Kohl dabei, is very informal.
Express to understand in 3 German registers.
Umgangssprache, kapieren/raffen/checken, colloquial. Standardsprache, verstehen, neutral. Gehoben, begriffen/erfassen/nachvollziehen, formal, nuanced. Ich kapiere das nicht is casual, ich kann das nicht nachvollziehen is formal disagreement.
Express drunk in 3 German registers.
Umgangssprache, besoffen/voll/hack, very colloquial. Standardsprache, betrunken, neutral. Gehoben/Amtsdeutsch, alkoholisiert/unter Alkoholeinfluss, official/legal. Police reports use alkoholisiert, friends say total besoffen.
Express to work hard in 3 German registers.
Umgangssprache, schuften/ackern/malochen, hard labor, colloquial. Standardsprache, hard arbeiten, neutral. Gehoben/Amtsdeutsch, einer Beschäftigung nachgehen/tätig sein, formal/bureaucratic. Geht einer geregelten Beschäftigung nach is Amtsdeutsch.
What do the legal terms das Urteil and der Freispruch mean?
Das Urteil equals the verdict/judgment, the court's formal decision. Der Freispruch equals the acquittal, a not guilty verdict. Das Gericht hat einen Freispruch verkündet. Urteil can refer to any court decision. Freispruch is specifically favorable for the defendant.
What is the difference between der Angeklagte and der Zeuge in German law?
Der Angeklagte equals the defendant/accused, person charged with a crime. Der Zeuge, die Zeugin, equals the witness. Der Zeuge sagt gegen den Angeklagten aus. In civil cases, the defendant is called der Beklagte.
What do die Berufung and die Klage mean in legal German?
Die Berufung equals the appeal, challenging a decision at a higher court. Die Klage equals the lawsuit/legal complaint. Sie hat Berufung gegen das Urteil eingelegt. Klage erheben means to file a lawsuit.
What do die Verhandlung and das Strafmaß mean in German legal language?
Die Verhandlung equals the court hearing/trial. Das Strafmaß equals the sentence/penalty imposed. In der Verhandlung wird ein mild Strafmaß gefordert. Mündliche Verhandlung refers specifically to an oral hearing.
What do die Bewahrung and die Verjährung mean in German law?
Die Bewahrung equals probation, suspended sentence. Die Verjährung equals statute of limitations. Erhielt 2 Jahre auf Bewahrung. Verjährungsfrist is the specific limitation period. Murder, Mord, has no Verjährung in German law.
What is the difference between Klage erheben and Anzeige in German law?
Klage erheben equals to file a lawsuit, civil law. Anzeige equals to file a criminal complaint with the police. Sie hat Klage gegen ihren Vermieter erhoben. Hat Anzeige wegen Diebstahls erstattet. The distinction between civil and criminal proceedings is fundamental.
What do die Diagnose and die Anamnese mean in medical German?
Die Diagnose equals the diagnosis, identification of a disease. Die Anamnese equals the medical history, patient's account of symptoms and past conditions. Vor Diagnose steht immer eine gründliche Anamnese. The anamnese is the first step in any medical consultation.
What do der Befund and die Prognose mean in medical German?
Der Befund equals the medical findings/test results. Die Prognose equals the prognosis, expected course of a disease. Der Befund war unauffällig, findings were unremarkable. A positiver Befund paradoxically means something was found, often bad news for the patient.
What does die Überweisung mean in a medical context versus banking?
In medicine, die Überweisung equals a referral from a general practitioner to a specialist. In banking, it means a bank transfer. Ich brauche eine Überweisung zum Kardiologen. In the German healthcare system, referrals are often required to see specialists.
What is the difference between stationer and ambulant in medical German?
Stationer equals inpatient, requiring hospital admission. Ambulant equals outpatient, treated without overnight stay. Der Eingriff kann ambulant durchgeführt werden. Stationär Aufnahme means hospital admission.
What do die Nebenwirkung and die Dosierung mean in medical German?
Die Nebenwirkung equals the side effect of a medication. Die Dosierung equals the dosage. Lesen Sie die Packungsbeilage zu Risiken und Nebenwirkungen. The phrase zu Risiken und Nebenwirkungen is iconic from German pharmaceutical advertising.
What does nüchtern mean in a medical context, and what is die Blutabnahme?
In medical contexts, nüchtern means fasting, not having eaten, usually 8+ hours before a test. Die Blutabnahme equals blood draw. Bit common see nüchtern zur Blutabnahme. Outside medicine, nüchtern can also mean sober or matter of fact.
What do die Schnittstelle and die Benutzeroberfläche mean in IT German?
Die Schnittstelle equals the interface, API or hardware interface. Die Benutzeroberfläche equals the user interface, UI. Die Rest Schnittstelle ermöglicht die Datenübertragung. Schnittstelle literally means cutting point, where two systems meet.
What do der Datenschutz and die Verschlüsselung mean?
Der Datenschutz equals data protection/privacy, governed by the DSGVO/GDPR, a major legal concept in Germany. Die Verschlüsselung equals encryption. Die Ende-zu-Ende Verschlüsselung gewährleistet den Datenschutz.
What does die Barrierefreiheit mean in an IT context?
Die Barrierefreiheit equals accessibility, making digital products usable for people with disabilities. Literally barrier freedom. Websites müssen laut EU-Richtlinie Barrierefreiheit gestaltet sein. In Germany, the BFSG, Barrierefreiheitsstärkungsgesetz, mandates digital accessibility.
What do die Sicherheitslücke and der Speicherplatz mean in IT?
Die Sicherheitslücke equals security vulnerability/exploit. Der Speicherplatz equals storage space/memory. Ein kritisch Sicherheitslücke wird im System entdeckt. Sicherheitslücke schließen equals to patch a vulnerability.
What does the compound noun Geschwindigkeitsbegrenzung mean and how is it formed?
Geschwindigkeitsbegrenzung equals speed limit. Formed from Geschwindigkeit, speed, plus s, linking element, plus Begrenzung, limitation. Die Geschwindigkeitsbegrenzung auf Autobahnen ist ein Dauerthema. German compounds are read right to left, the last element is the base noun.
What was Rindfleischgedeckete Superwackensaufge Benübertragungsgesetz and what does it illustrate?
This 63-letter word was an actual German law, Beef Labeling Supervision Task Transfer Law, repealed in 2013. It illustrates German's ability to form virtually unlimited compound nouns. Breakdown: Rindfleisch is beef, plus Etikettierung, labeling, plus Überwachung, supervision, plus Aufgaben, tasks, plus Übertragung, transfer, plus Gesetz, law.
What are the main patterns for nominalization in German?
German freely nominalizes verbs and adjectives. Verbs nouns, lesen das Lesen. Adjectives nouns, schon die Schönheit, kränker/die krank. He suffixes, die Bedeutung, heit/Kate, die Freiheit, nis, das Ergebnis, Schaft, die Freundschaft. Nominalization is pervasive in formal and academic German.
What does the prefix zur indicate in German verbs?
The prefix zur indicates destruction, breaking apart, or disintegration, zerbrechen, to shatter, zerreißen, to tear apart, zerstören, to destroy, zerfallen, to disintegrate. It always implies that something is broken into pieces or rendered useless.
What do the prefixes and ver indicate in German verbs?
End indicates removal, reversal, or beginning, entdecken, discover, entfernen, remove, inspannen, relax. Ver has multiple meanings: change of state, verbessern, doing wrongly, sich verlaufen equals get lost, completion, verbluhen. Ver dash is the most versatile and unpredictable German prefix.
What do the prefixes and miss indicate in German verbs?
Indicates achieving a result, erarbeiten, work out, blühen, bloom. It can also mean to death, frieren, freeze to death, trinken, drown. Miss indicates failure or wrongness, missverstehen, misunderstand, missbrauchen, abuse, misslingen, fail. Both are inseparable prefixes.
What does the German expression Naja, get so convey?
Naja, get so is a classic German understatement meaning well, it's so or not great. Germans often use understatement to express dissatisfaction indirectly. When a German says get so, the situation is often worse than they're letting on.
What does das kann man wohl sagen mean in context?
Das kann man wohl sagen literally means one can certainly say that. It functions as ironic agreement or emphatic confirmation. Often used with dry humor to agree with an obvious statement, implying that's an understatement.
What does the humorous expression nicht schlecht, respect mean?
Nicht schlecht, respect, not bad, Mr. Woodpecker, is a playful, rhyming expression of impressed approval. Used colloquially when someone has done something surprisingly well. Respect has no specific meaning, it's chosen purely for the rhyme.
What is Galgenhumor and how is it used in German?
Galgenhumor, gallows humor, is humor in the face of hopeless or dire situations. A patient before surgery saying, "Na, dann schneiden Sie mal los." Well, start cutting then. Germans value the ability to joke about serious matters as a coping mechanism.
What does Schadenfreude mean, and why is this word used internationally?
Schadenfreude equals pleasure derived from someone else's misfortune. Schaden equals damage plus Freude equals joy. Adopted into English because no single English word captures this concept. The ironic saying, Schadenfreude ist die schönste Freude, acknowledges it as a common human emotion.
Explain typisch deutsche Untertreibung, typical German understatement, with examples.
German communication often uses litotes and understatement. Nicht übel, not bad equals quite good, nicht uninteressant, not uninteresting equals fascinating, ganz ordentlich, quite decent equals very good. This indirect style contrasts with stereotypes of German directness and reflects subtle social navigation.
What does der Zeitgeist mean in its original German sense?
Der Zeitgeist, Zeit equals time plus Geist equals spirit, means the defining spirit or mood of a particular era. In German, it carries philosophical weight from Hegel, referring to the intellectual and cultural climate shaping an epoch. More nuanced than the English borrowing, which often just means trend.
What does Die Weltanschauung mean beyond its English usage?
Die Weltanschauung, Welt equals world plus Anschauung equals perception, means a comprehensive worldview or philosophy of life. In German, it implies a deeply held, coherent system of beliefs about reality, ethics, and humanity's place in the world. Stronger than opinion, it encompasses one's entire framework of understanding.
What does Die Gemütlichkeit truly mean in German culture?
Die Gemütlichkeit describes a state of warmth, coziness, friendliness, and belonging. It goes beyond physical comfort to include social warmth and an unhurried atmosphere. A Stammtisch in a Neep, candles in winter, or a long Sunday coffee und Kuchen, all embody Gemütlichkeit. Often considered untranslatable.
What does Die Wanderlust mean in its German context?
Die Wanderlust equals a deep longing to travel and explore, particularly on foot through nature. Connected to the romantic tradition of Wandern as spiritual practice. More contemplative than the English usage, linked to the German Romantic movement, Eichendorff, Caspar David Friedrich.
What does Die Sehnsucht mean and why is it considered untranslatable?
Die Sehnsucht equals an intense, often melancholic longing for something absent, distant, or unattainable. Combines Sehnen, yearning, and Sucht, addiction/craving. Central to German Romanticism, it describes a bittersweet ache for a person, place, past, or ideal. No single English word captures its depth.
What does Der Doppelgänger mean in its German literary tradition?
Der Doppelgänger, double-goer, originally referred to a ghostly double or evil twin of a living person, often a harbinger of death. Coined by Jean Paul, 1796. In German literature, encountering one's doppelganger symbolizes psychological crisis or split identity. The English borrowing has a more neutral meaning.
What does Das Leitmotiv mean in its original German context?
Das Leitmotiv, leading motif, was originally a musical term from Wagner's operas, a recurring melodic theme associated with a character, idea, or situation. In German literary criticism, it extends to any recurring theme or symbol in a work of art. More technically precise than the casual English usage meaning main theme.
What is a Bildungsroman and why is this genre distinctly German?
A Bildungsroman, formation novel, traces a protagonist's psychological and moral development from youth to maturity. Goethe's Wilhelm Meister's Lehrjahr, 1795, is the prototype. The genre reflects the German Enlightenment ideal of Bildung, self-cultivation through education and experience.
What is the Genitivus partitivus in German? Give an example.
The Genitivus partitivus uses the genitive to express a part of a whole, ein Glas kohlen Wassers, a glass of cool water, ein Tass heißen Tees, a cup of hot tea. This construction is formal/literary. Everyday speech prefers ein Glas kaltes Wasser, nominative, or mit kaltem Wasser, dative.
What are adverbial genitives in German? Give common examples.
Adverbial genitives are genitive forms used as adverbs, often fossilized. Eines Tages, one day, means Erachtens, in my opinion, keineswegs, by no means, meistens, mostly. These are remnants of a time when the genitive had broader adverbial functions in German.
How is extended conjunctive I used in formal writing and indirect speech?
In formal texts and journalism, conjunctive I signals indirect speech without das. Der Minister sagt, sei zuversichtlich und die Regierung plain neue Maßnahmen. Extended chains of conjunctive I maintain the indirect speech frame across multiple clauses. If conjunctive I is identical to indicative, conjunctive 2 substitutes.
How does the inverted conditional without when, work in German?
The inverted conditional drops when and places the verb first, hat seid, kämer equals when seid hat, kämer. This construction is formal and literary. It works in all tenses, hat das gewusst, were geblieben. Parallels English had he time, he would come.
What is the Genitivus qualitatis in German?
The Genitivus qualitatis uses the genitive to describe a quality or characteristic, ein Mann mittleren Alters, a middle-aged man, eine Frau guten Willens, a woman of good will. This is a literary construction. Spoken German often uses mit plus dative instead.
How is es sei denn used, and what grammatical form does it employ?
Es sei denn means unless and uses conjunctive I, say. We're common morgen, es sei denn, es regnet. Will come tomorrow, unless it rains. The construction is a remnant of older subjunctive usage. In everyday speech, außer wenn is a more common alternative.
How does sich lassen plus infinitive function as a passive alternative?
Sich lassen plus infinitive expresses that something can be done. Passive possibility das Problem last sich losen equals das Problem kann gelöst werden. It often implies ease or inherent possibility and sounds more elegant than a standard passive construction.
How does sein plus zu plus infinitive function as a passive alternative?
Sein plus zu plus infinitive expresses necessity or possibility in a passive sense. Die Rechnung ist bis Freitag zu bezahlen equals muss bezahlt werden. Context determines whether it means must be, necessity, or can be, possibility. Common in formal and bureaucratic German.
How do bar and lich adjectives function as passive alternatives?
Adjectives with bar and lich express passive possibility. S-bar, edible equals kann gegessen werden, machbar, doable, erklärlich, explainable, unverwechselbar, unmistakable. Bar is highly productive and can be added to most transitive verbs. Lich is less productive but common in fixed forms.
What is the bekommen passive, recipient passive, and how is it used?
The bekommen passive promotes the indirect object to subject using bekommen/kriegen/erhalten plus partizip 2. Bekommt das Buchgestend equals im Word das Buchgestend. It emphasizes the recipient rather than the action. Kriegen is colloquial, erhalten is formal.
Explain the difference between kennen and wissen.
Kennen equals to be familiar/acquainted with, people, places, things through experience. Ich kenne diesen Film. Wissen equals to know a fact. Ich weiß, dass kommt. Kennen takes a direct object, wissen usually takes a clause. You kennst a person but weißt their name.
What is the difference between schaffen and erschaffen?
Schaffen, weak, shaft, Gesellschaft equals to manage, accomplish, ich habe es Gesellschaft. Erschaffen, strong, Erschaffen equals to create from nothing, used for divine or artistic creation, Gott erschuf die Welt. Note, Schaffen also has a strong form, schaff, Geschaffen, meaning to create.
What is the crucial difference between anscheinend and scheinbar?
Anscheinend equals apparently, appears true and probably is ist anscheinend krank, probably is sick. Scheinbar equals seemingly, appears true but is not ist scheinbar krank, appears sick but isn't. This distinction is often confused even by native speakers, maintaining it is a mark of precise German.
What is the difference between fordern and fordern?
Fordern equals to demand, require, challenge, see fordert ein Gehaltserhöhung. Fordern equals to support, promote, encourage, das Stipendium fordert junge Wissenschaftler. Despite differing by one letter, they have opposite connotations. Fordern implies pressure, fordern implies nurturing.
What is the difference between ALS and we in comparisons?
ALS is used with comparatives, inequality ist grosser als ich. We is used with the positive degree, equality ist so gross wie ich. Using we with comparatives, grosser wie, is a common colloquial error, especially southern dialects, but incorrect in standard German.
What is the difference between Seitum and Seit as conjunctions?
Seit and Seitum are largely interchangeable as conjunctions. Seit, dem, or hier won't, ist glücklich. However, Seitdem can also be an adverb, since then Zog 2010 nach Berlin. Seitdem wohnt dort. Seit is also a preposition, seit 3 Jahren. Seitdem cannot be used as a preposition.
What is the difference between Solange and so white?
Solange equals as long as, temporal duration / condition Solange du hier bist, bin ich glücklich. So white equals as far as, extent / knowledge so white ich weiß, kommt morgen. Solange emphasizes time / duration, so white emphasizes scope / knowledge. So white, so gut equals so far, so good.
Explain the subtle difference between Grund and Ursache.
Grund equals reason, often rational, justifying aus welchem Grund bist du hier? Ursache equals cause, often objective, causal die Ursache de Unfalls war gladius. Grund implies intentionality or rationale, Ursache implies a factual cause-effect relationship. Kein Ursache equals you're welcome, lit. No cause for thanks.